right, nephews, tonight might hurt a little, but some of you need this conversation badly. A lot of you think your dating profile isn't working because women are shallow or that the apps are rigged.
Oh, yeah. It's all their fault.
You're not rich enough. You don't have enough money and status. You're not
I'm not 6 foot. Yeah.
Attractive enough. All the while, you're arguing with that algorithm, but you're ignoring the real problem.
They're even arguing with the girls that reject them.
Boring.
Bruh.
Not ugly, boring. And there's a huge difference. See, most men's profiles look exactly the same. Gym selfies, car selfies, travel picture. Maybe you got one with a dog. Maybe it's a fish or a deer. You got stuff like just ask or looking for something real. And nephews, women have seen that profile 4,000 times this week.
Oh.
There's no emotional identity. There's no
It is just a different face,
no direction. You guys are lacking personality. There's no sense of what it would actually feel like to be around you or even on a date with you. And then men wonder, why do I keep getting ignored? Well, it's because your profile says that you're safe. Your profile says that you're predictable, you're emotionally flat, and it's showing her that you're not memorable. And tonight, nephews, we're here to fix all that. Because throughout this episode, we're going to be dropping 5 of the biggest mistakes your profile makes you invisible to women. Not some fake alpha nonsense, not manipulation tactics. We're not giving you corny pickup lines. Real game, the kind of game that actually changes how women perceive you and
treat you
before you ever even speak to them. And here's the crazy part. Most of you are trying way too hard to be liked. And that's what kills attraction. You're building profiles that try to offend nobody. And as a result, you're not making any kind of impact. Meanwhile, the men getting attention usually have clear energy. They have a stronger identity. They have better emotional presentation. And honestly, more intentional lifestyles, not necessarily better looks. And that's the part, nephews, I need you to hear, because some of you don't need more muscles. You don't need more money. You don't need better pickup lines. You need more clarity. You need more confidence. You need more emotional identity. So tonight, we're breaking down real women's Bumble profiles, as always. But every now and then throughout this episode, we're going to stop and we're going to teach you one major mistake that men make that instantly kill attraction on dating apps. Because nephews, if you miss one, you might miss the exact thing ruining your profile right now.
Yep.
So do us a favor, though. Write in, call in, put your questions in the chat. Send Johnny smoke signals if you need to, nephews. We're here to help. All right,
although if you're going to do Morse code, I know it, but you're going to have to give me like a week.
Nephews, this show is not about blaming women. It's about helping men stop getting ignored and becoming more intentional in how they move. Stop blending in. And you know what? Stop building profiles that look like every other guy on the app, nephew. This is Swipe Smarter. I'm your certified unk. Johnny, go ahead and introduce yourself for everybody watching tonight.
So I'm JohnnyDumbbell. I am your no BS personal trainer, life coach, and the guy that's going to teach you that you have a brain and and only enough blood to run one at a time at your age. And the problem with that is you let that lead you into being suckered into getting played and to either, and if you're lucky, you only waste your time. But I've known several men my age and younger who have not only wasted that, but they wasted money, time, resources, and sometimes even their credit score. Do not waste your credit score by putting a girl who belongs on the streets up on a pedestal. Now, we are the uncles that the entire family has great and, by the way, hilarious stories about. And we're not proud of most of those stories. But what we are proud of is the kind of men that we became after the lessons we learned the hard way from how those stories ended. In short, we are the screw up uncles that have learned the error of our ways. And if you listen to us, you'll come to realize that we screwed up so you don't have to. Billy, let's bring out the ladies.
All right, Johnny, before we bring out the lovely ladies this evening, I want to give our nephews some real game. That's why they tuned in here tonight. So we're talking about the 5 biggest mistakes that make your dating profile invisible to women. So let's get on with this right now. We're going to do the first one before we break down any profiles tonight, Johnny. Mistake number 1, nephew.
Yeah, you got to witness before you learn.
Your profile has no emotional identity. It reads like a grocery list. Gym, work, sports, travel, whiskey, tacos, work harder, cool. So does every other guy within a 50-mile radius. Women are
literally every guy
on your activities. Women, they're swiping on your energy. They're swiping on your masculine frame. They're swiping on your lifestyle, the emotional experience that is attached to you. That's what they're swiping on. And look, I'm being honest here with you because we care about you, nephews. If your profile says nothing, then that's what you're going to get. You're going to feel like a waiting room. You're going to feel like there's no tension. There's no kind of gravity. And you look like a man that's surviving life and not leading one. Your profile should communicate what kind of world a woman steps into with you, not your random hobbies.
Bruh.
Yep.
Look, Johnny, any guy can say I go to the gym, but I tell you in these profiles that you should be putting who you are after the gym.
And by the way, really be that guy. Listen, if you really go to the gym every day, be that guy. And I'll tell you why. I don't mention names because, frankly, I don't even know this guy's name. But we got a guy that goes to a gym that I frequent, not where I work. But this guy, I mean, he's one of those ones that shows up. He walks around the gym. He's on his phone. And every once in a while, he stops, lifts his shirt in front of the mirror to check his abs and check his muscles. And, I mean, don't get me wrong. The guy probably does work out. But I've only seen him do like 3 exercises over the last 3 weeks. I've seen him roaming around the gym. And I mean, here's the thing. He seems intelligent. He seems articulate, but he doesn't seem to have a freaking clue as to what he needs to do to attract a woman. Because if he had a good woman in his life, he wouldn't be checking up on himself, making sure he still looks good to himself. He would have actually been able to exude what he likes about himself to somebody else who would have valued that and respected it. But instead, this guy's just walking around on the phone with his homeboys at the gym, saying he's at the gym, which, by the way, is not a lie. But if he says he's working out, most of the time it is. I mean, he seems like a cool dude, but just, I mean, look, don't be that guy.
All right, Johnny. Now you're ready to bring out the lovely ladies tonight.
Yeah, let's bring out the lovely ones, yeah.
All right, now, look, nephews, let me give you a little bit of game here. JohnnyDumbbell, he is very goal-oriented. He sets goals for even me. I need everyone to understand here that Johnny has been a mentor of mine for several years. So he wants me to have 3 right swipes tonight. Now, you got to understand.
Now, I also understand that's not all up to him. Because a lot of you girls have some trash profiles. And by the way, I know there are some ladies tuning in tonight. I was told there would be.
Okay, look, Johnny, here's what we're going to have to start doing about that. You know, the nephews write you on Mondays with their questions. I'm going to need some of the women that are watching that support our show to send me their dating profiles. If y'all are really struggling out there that bad on these dating apps, screenshot me your dating profile, send them to me. I'll give you the game on how to pull yourself an actual man, ladies.
And actually, by the way, ladies, those of you who are watching this, if you ever had a guy hit you up on a dating app and you said respectfully, thank you, but no thank you, and he turned into that guy that calls you an ugly peach female dog, because, algorithm, I can't say it. I would love to see, I don't need to see the screenshots, but tell us a story about this guy. The one who complimented the hell out of you, and when you rejected him, told you how ugly you were.
Okay, now, nephews, as I was saying, Uncle Johnny wants me to get 3 right swipes tonight. But here's what I need each and every one of you watching to understand. I'm not swiping on these profiles based on looks.
Nope.
I have standards as a man, and Johnny and I are really big on a vetting process and vetting the women that you allow into your life. So what I'm showing you tonight is the beginning stages of my vetting process. Hey, shout out to TikTok. If you're watching on TikTok, you can join us live over on YouTube. We got the rest of the panel on here, the women's profiles. We're about to share them.
And by the way, if you are tuning in live to TikTok, I'm not live on TikTok, but if you want to see some of the shorts that I post, it's at JohnnyDumbbell on TikTok. I've got mostly relationship advice, but I do have a couple of fitness tips. And if you don't see the fitness tip you need, shoot me an email, shoot me a DM, man. I probably know the answer, or at least I can tell you what worked best for me. So, man,
Johnny,
stay active, guys.
Shout out to you, Johnny Dumbbell. It's what, Johnny.Dumbbell on TikTok?
It is.
All right, so we got to do our Ask Your Favorite Uncles live on TikTok. I know I've had problems with TikTok sharing the Bumble profiles before, but I'm sure that they wouldn't have a problem with Ask Your Favorite Uncles. So, we need to add like a third night to our week, Johnny, and do something just for TikTok. Shout out to TikTok. We appreciate y'all watching, man. All right.
It's good to have you with us.
Okay, Johnny, first up tonight, we got Michelle. And
all right.
42. Her picture is at a bar.
Okay. A little after the ball, but all right. What do we got? So she's at a bar. She's 42. And so we've already got a single 42-year-old lady who is thinking she's going to impress you by showing you a picture of her drinking.
Bruh.
Well, the first
that all checks out, right?
That doesn't impress me, Johnny, is there's no bio here.
I'm not gonna say, yeah. I mean, look, I'm not saying drinking's bad, by the way. I'm just saying that, like, I'm not sure you want to lead with that. Well, but remember, guys, here's the thing. Most women on dating apps think that they can put a picture out there, and if they look halfway decent, that's all they need. That's how little they think of your discernment. Just saying.
Okay. She does have some prompts here, so let's go ahead and read her prompts.
I got some problems too.
It says, if I could bring back one trend, it would be phone calls. I'm much more into getting on the phone to touch base versus texting, but sometimes it's really convenient.
Well, okay, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and comment on that. No, I'm going to comment on that because here's the thing. As a man and as a professional, the professional that I've been for the last 27 years of my life, I got to tell you, if what you would rather have is a verbal conversation over the phone, I would prefer that over text messaging. I'd rather be in person, but if there's going to be an in-between compromise, let's do it on the phone because you will hear my self-confidence and what I have to offer over the phone. And honestly, I'm going to make sure by the end of that conversation, no. I'll tell you what, I want to make sure by the end of that conversation, I haven't given you too much and I haven't given you too little. I'll give you just enough to be intrigued enough to meet me in person. Now, young men, I know you might not know what I mean by that. What I'm telling you is you don't tell them everything. You tell them enough to make them go, oh, really? Oh, yeah. And if you hear her say, listen, if she says, oh, really to you, that should be your cue to say, oh, yeah, just wait till you meet me in person and then leave it at that. Leave it at that. But here's the thing. When she can hear you vocally, that is where you need to, and I swear to God, I mean, be confident, not act confident. I say this twice a week to you guys, and I'm going to say it again. If you try to fake confidence, she will smell that fakeness like a fart in the car with the windows up, except she will look at it as creepiness. All you're going to look at it as, well, she didn't buy it. Oh, and she never texted me back. Like 70 to 80% of you guys that don't get a text back, it's because of that. Just saying.
Bruh.
All right, let's keep going. I'll read through the profile, Johnny, and then I'll break it down for the nephews here. All right, the next prompt she says, a nickname my friends have for me is, She says legs. This was more so in high school / college years, but every now and then it makes a comeback.
Okay, well, here's my question. Did they call you that because the legs were long or because the legs were muscular? Because if they were long, that's never going to change. If they were muscular, they might be cottage cheese by now. Who knows? I'm just saying that one can change, one can't.
You notice she's not showing off these legs in the profile?
That's kind of the point I was making, but I didn't want to have to say it. But yeah.
All right, let's see what else we got here. She says, my favorite way to do nothing is on a long flight on my way to explore a new city / country to prepare for the adventure to come.
Wait, who's paying for this? Wait, hold on. Whose debit card number is going on that bill? Now, maybe it's hers. I'm just saying it. Statistically, probably isn't.
Nephews, Johnny, this is a great profile for tonight's topic because Michelle here is signaling multiple things at once: femininity, maturity, attention awareness, lifestyle energy, and even some standards. And most men are going to completely misread where they actually fit into all of this. So look, on the surface level, okay, there's no bio. She drinks socially. I think it said she's looking for marriage. Yeah. Prefers phone calls. Legs is the nickname. And she loves travel and adventure. Now, most men are immediately going to split into two bad categories. That she wants something serious. Let me prove I'm husband material. Or she's flirtatious and adventurous, so let me impress her.
And by the way, just to be clear, because Uncle Bill wants you to figure this out on your own, but I'm going to actually translate it for you. What he's saying is, let me see if I can audition for her and pass, and hopefully she likes me. That's what he's saying. So, I mean, I'm just saying that's one extreme. I'm giving you the other. But if any of your thoughts gravitate around either what he said or what I said, you might want to reevaluate what your purpose is for dating here. Are you choosing or are you hoping to be chosen? There is a huge difference there.
Yeah, and let us know in the comments why you're on these dating apps to begin with. Are you looking to meet somebody to have an emotional connection with? Are you looking to meet somebody to smash? Let us know. I'd love to know what our audience is actually looking for on these dating apps. So if you're on Bumble, if you're on Tinder, if you're on Hinge or any of the other dating apps they have, give us a shout out and let us know. Hey, we appreciate it.
Yeah, we like Siri.
All right. First thing, Johnny, all right, let's break this down. It's looking for marriage. Nephews, calm down.
Nope.
Bruh.
All right. A woman saying looking for marriage,
that's me,
that doesn't mean she wants commitment from you immediately.
That also doesn't mean that she's offering commitment.
It means she's dating with long-term possibilities in mind. And that's a big difference. And look, this is where a lot of you guys, I'll be honest, you screw yourselves over.
Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing, Uncle Bill. I've run into situations where she asked that question because she was looking to see if you were serious. And the other side of it is she could be asking that question to see how far you would go to make her happy, which could result in simp behavior. So we're going to have to read a little more. We're going to read a little bit more about this, I think.
Okay.
My opinion. Not a popular one, I'm sure.
Well, anytime you start talking about simp behavior, Johnny, guys run from accountability. They don't want to hear it. That's
not the problem. The problem is that these girls, that those same guys that you're describing want to bang, are coming in here being like, oh, so you're saying just because a guy treats a woman with respect, he's being a simp? No, I'm saying that when he's willing to sacrifice his money, his time, his dignity, and his self-respect in order to get her approval, he becomes a simp. But that's the part that you girls don't ever see, and I wouldn't expect you to. You're too busy trying to garner it from him.
All right, nephews, the second you guys here looking for marriage, you stop vetting. You stop observing, and you stop pacing yourselves, really. You immediately jump into provider mode. or overinvestment. You get this future fantasy. Now you're trying to become the safe option before any kind of attraction is even established.
Now, Uncle Bill, I was never in the military, but that sounds like a certain officer that I heard of back in the 90s when E40 was talking about a certain captain.
Are you talking about Captain Savaho?
Bruh.
What?
My long distance
I am.
Boise, Idaho?
Yep.
Shout out to E40, Charlie Hustle. I love me some E40.
Dude, that was a great song. You know, like, honestly, I forgot all about that. But see, every once in a while, guys, I have about an hour or so to myself to play video games. And I play GTA online, even though it's a 12-year-old online game because, you know, I'm a nerd. But when you're driving in the car, there's a radio station that plays that song. And honest to God, all I hear in my head is, I want to be saved. Remember that shit?
All right, nephews, let's get
Like,
into
honestly,
this
God,
phone call
whenever I hear that
prompt
song
here.
or anything by Dr. Dre, I seriously want to go back to like the skating rink in either Austintown or Boardman or Salem, because I got to tell you, those were the days, man. Anyway,
Johnny, I want to talk about this phone call prompt here, and I don't want to go too in depth on these profiles tonight. I'd like to, cover more of them because we are doing.
Listen, when you're online dating and you're just putting something forward, it really isn't that deep anyway. I get it.
We are doing 5 tips to help you guys with your own dating profiles tonight. But back to the phone call prompt here.
Yeah.
A lot of younger men, I think they're going to miss this completely. What she's telling us is that she values presence, your tone, emotional connection, or confidence in communication. And nephews, I got to tell you, this is why a lot of you guys text message, because phone calls expose weak men fast.
Oh my God, yes.
Look,
dude, text messages can do that.
Guys, texting lets you curate responses. You can hide your nervousness. You can overthink and delete. But phone calls, nephew, that's going to reveal your energy. That's going to reveal your confidence. That's going to reveal Bill, your emotional control and your conversational flow. And
Bill, I'm gonna have to go back over the last several weeks, but I'm pretty sure that we at least got one example each week, whether it be Monday or Thursday, or let's face it, probably both, where we saw an example of a guy who probably had his way in and somehow talked or texted or instant messaged or emailed his way out of it.
Absolutely.
And look, for those of you who are new to the show, I'm telling you, self-destruction is the number one cause of failure. Okay? Number fucking one. Just like marriage is the number one cause of divorce. I'm kidding. But no, I mean, seriously, actually, I'm not that. I'm actually not exaggerating that much on that second part. No, but I mean, and that's just it. Self-doubt, lack of self-confidence. Look, if you don't like you, how can you expect somebody else to like you? If you don't have respect for yourself and the things that you've been through in life and the things that you've learned through experience and things that you know because there's no other way it could be any other way because you fucking lived it. If you can't be confident in that, you don't respect nor like yourself enough to share it with anybody else. If you don't have that feeling about yourself, that means that if you're seeking someone else, you're seeking someone else to fill the void that is within you. No, you fill that fucking void yourself before you go sharing it with the luckiest lady in the world who you are willing to share it with. If you don't feel that way, come talk to your uncles. Make sure you're tuning in every Monday and Thursday night at 9:35 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure that you're writing us, either Uncle Bill or myself, and letting us know. If it's something we're not qualified to handle, I can refer you to people who are. I have very good friends that are therapists. I've got very good friends who are psychiatrists. I don't know shit about that kind of stuff, but if you're beyond my scope of help, I'll refer you to them. But you have no excuse, if you can hear my voice right now, to not be able to have the drive, the will, and frankly, the ability, if you really look for it, to better yourself. That's why you're here in the first place. And if it's not, I don't know why you're here.
All right, Johnny, we got a comment.
We're not here for your entertainment.
She says, matched on Tinder. His profile said 6 foot tall. We met at a bar. A big profile lie. He was 5'6". I was taller than him.
My God, you can't exaggerate 6 inches, man. Either this way or
height was clear. Be honest on your profile.
Okay,
You know
yeah. If you're 5'6", you ain't 6 foot. You can't round up just because you're halfway there. Wow. Yeah, no, I mean, and see, that's just what I'm talking about, guys. The thing of it is whether you're a short guy or a fat girl, don't tell the other person that you're something you probably imagine that you're looking for and then show up being not that. Okay. Just like girls don't like short guys, a lot of guys don't like heavy girls. And the thing of it is that if you're shy, well, all right. We could make a whole other episode about where the angles of the cameras are taken by the girls that want to show this, but not that. And look, I understand that you want to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative. But here's the thing. If the guy has a certain preference, what do you think you're going to do? Meet him in person and you're going to win him over with your personality? And guys, the same thing. You tell her you're 6 fucking foot and you show up at 5'6". Yeah, I mean, that's saying that you are Heinz Ward and you show up being like Danny DeVito. All right. Height wise. But the thing of it is that you told her that because you wanted her to like you. You put something out there that said you were something you knew they liked because they might not like who you really are. And this 5'6" guy sounds like one of those guys. He didn't like himself. He doesn't like these 5'6", or he wouldn't have lied about it. The fact of the matter is that if you haven't come to peace with who you are, what you are, and how you are, nobody else out there is going to give a crap, whether professionally or romantically, who you are at all. So, I mean, my God, if you don't like yourself enough to want to share those things that you like, as opposed to lacking something and hoping someone can fill that void. Uncle Bill, you hear the difference between those two things, right?
Absolutely.
The guy that showed up that night didn't. And honestly, I got to tell you, it's kind of symbolic because apparently he couldn't tell the difference between 5.5 and 6 feet. But the thing of it is that he knew he wasn't 6 foot, but he also felt like he wasn't enough. And I got to tell you, I feel for the guy, but at the same time, I mean, my God, if you don't like yourself, there's no way you should expect anybody else to like you. That's all I can say about that.
All right, nephews, I want to talk about this comment here. She says,
I know that from experience.
I'm going to read it one more time. Matched on Tinder. His profile said 6 foot tall. We met at a bar and it was a big profile lie. He was 5'6". I was taller than him. Turned off. My profile height was clear. Be honest on your profile. Nephews, and you know what? Thank you for writing in because this is why
thank you so much.
Matters in your profile more than some of you realize. Because a lot of men think if I can just get her there, or if she meets me in person, my personality will win her over. No.
But here's the problem. Your personality is already lacking confidence because you had to lie about how you look.
Johnny,
you were
started with deception. So once trust drops, attraction usually follows right behind it. Now, let's be real here, nephews. Every human being wants to present themselves well. We all do. Women do it, men do it, the best angles, the best lighting, the best pictures. Cool. But here's the difference between presenting yourself well and creating false experience. And
don't present your aspirations, present your results.
Some men are sabotaging themselves before the date even starts. If you can lie about your height,
most of them.
If you're going to use a 12-year-old picture, if you're going to hide your body completely, if you're going to fake lifestyle, fake money, or fake confidence, you're creating emotional whiplash, and women feel that immediately.
Now, here's the thing. You shouldn't fake anything, but I'd rather you faked wealth than fake confidence. You can't buy confidence.
Here's the thing, nephews. Let me give you the game on this. Now she's not thinking, do I like him? She's thinking, why did he feel the need to hide himself?
Bruh.
And that changes the entire emotional atmosphere. And nephews, women are very sensitive to congruence. All right. That meaning, do your words, your pictures, your energy, and your real life presence actually match? And that's huge because grounded confidence says, this is me.
And listen, gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that I'm no better than you. And I'll say because of this. When I was younger, I said some things about myself that weren't true either. And I mean, it wasn't about my height, but it was about, other things that I at the time thought was important to gain attraction. Look, if I hadn't chased the wrong things for the wrong reasons, I wouldn't have anything to tell you guys. Now, I can only speak for myself in this regard, but if you think you can fake it till you make it, you can't. Fake doesn't make. All right. I mean, you have just got to envision what you want to be. Wake up every day, taking another step closer to that person. Now, if that means waking up tomorrow morning and making your bed before you even leave your bedroom, like you should do from tomorrow on, if you're watching this for the first time, let that be the first step in, a routine that you can follow, because it's not anybody's routine but your own. And once you can establish the ability to make your bed every morning, I think you're going to be able to find that there's a lot of things you can start to do for yourself regularly. But you're not going to see that until the first time you come home from a really hard day at work. You get to your bedroom and you realize that somebody already made your bed. Oh, that's right. You did. You made this relaxation better. You busted your ass today. And because you love yourself enough, you said, something, later self, your earlier self, I'm going to do something nice for you right now. I'm going to set up your bed. I'm going to make sure that when you do get home from this long, relaxing day of work, though, the likes of which you don't even know yet, you're going to come home to an already made bed. And if you have a crock pot and you got about 30 minutes for prep, you might even be able to come home to the nice, beautiful smell of a pot roast or a roast chicken or something like that before you go lay in that comfy bed that you loved yourself enough to make. Gentlemen, when I say self-love, this is what I mean. And until you have that, don't you try to love somebody else. But once you love yourself in that way, I think you'll not only realize and finally come to appreciate the love of others that you may or may not have noticed, but you're going to attract more of that love, admiration, respect. There's going to be so many emotions you're going to be able to get from other people that you will be able to show by example, by doing, not by saying all of those things. All those things I mentioned. Listen, use your head, but use your heart too.
Now let's clean this up too. Because some men lie because they think women only want perfect men. And that's not true. A lot of women will forgive average height, imperfection, flaws, regular lifestyles. But that's only if a man is confident, grounded, genuinely, authentically himself, and emotionally solid. What women struggle to forgive is feeling manipulated. Nephews, your profile should make a woman feel curiosity in person, not disappointment in person.
Absolutely.
And there's a big difference. Now, and here's the irony, because the men who lie usually create the exact rejection that they're trying to avoid. Because now she's distracted. Now trust is damaged. Now attraction is interrupted before the date has really even had a chance to breathe naturally. So, nephew, stop trying to build attraction on top of illusion. A strong man does not need to fake his height, fake his status, fake his lifestyle, or fake his pictures.
Look, attraction is not created, it's noticed.
He builds attraction through congruence, through his identity, through emotional confidence and real world presence. And that lasts longer anyway. And look, I'll be honest here. If a woman likes that fake version first, eventually you still have to introduce her to the real one. And that conversation usually doesn't go well, nephews.
And by the way, if you're introducing that false part of you to try to just get some, that's one thing. But I got to be honest with you. If you really are in connection and know yourself and love yourself that well, the truth will get her wetter a hell of a lot faster, even if that is all you want.
Okay. Namira says she didn't mind that he was shorter. She hated that one that he lied.
I know. Yeah.
That she hated how tall I was and that he left rudely. Yeah, there really is no excuse for that.
Well, and the thing of it is, she made a comment about it, which is probably what got them all butthurt. But here's the thing: is it okay for a woman to just go ahead and shame a man for his height? No, but is it okay for a woman to point out the fact that we're off by a half a foot? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that's acceptable and probably to be not only understood but expected.
Here,
And look, I mean, the same thing goes. I mean, if you tell me you have an athletic build, and by athletic you meant that you bowl sometimes, and it shows, hey, fine.
Bruh.
You know that. Look, you presented yourself to be something you weren't. It goes both ways. You can't do that. But I mean, I understand. I understand where she's coming from. She had to point it out. She had to comment on it because 5'6" and 6 foot are definitely going to look different. And look, she pointed out frankly, to me, would be obvious. And yeah, he got butthurt because he went into that date, and I'll bet you he put himself as 6 foot because he thought, watch, a girl will pick me up because I'm not too short, but I'll win her over. And when he didn't, I mean,
what do you think? She was going to pick him up and put him on the washing machine, put him on the counter? Look, I don't even know. Here's the thing.
Hey, listen, I'll try anything once, twice if I like it, but yeah.
Women like to, especially women that wear heels, they want to look up at their dude, so they like taller guys. That might
Ladies, by the way, I might be single and I am as close to 6 foot as you can be without actually being 6 foot. So, all right, if that's not enough, I don't know what to do for you.
All right, let's move on here.
We're not using my Bumble though.
All right, look, we're trying to get through 5 tips here tonight. We want to make your profiles better. And so I'm going to go right on with the second mistake that you guys are making. And that's you guys trying to look safe in your online dating profile.
Oh my God.
And this one destroys, Johnny, this one destroys the attraction like fast. A lot of men build profiles like HR departments.
You know what it is, Uncle Bill? They think that they need to come across as harmless when what they really need to come across is peaceful. Now, weeks and weeks and actually probably months and months, and God, we've been doing this 2 years now, haven't we, Uncle Bill?
That's cool. Shout out to us. Let's clap that.
Yeah, I mean, however long ago it was, I gave a mini TED talk about the difference between being harmless rather, and being peaceful. Harmless and peaceful sound like they're synonyms, but I promise you that they are actually closer to antonyms. And I mean, I know I'm talking to Gen Zers, so that means opposites. Kidding. I'm kidding. I would never talk down to you. But no, I mean, so peaceful and harmless are two different things because harmless people couldn't do harm if they tried. They couldn't do harm if they wanted to. And while that sounds safe, secure, and predictable, remember that the majority of the girls that we're going after are not looking for safe, secure, and predictable. They're also not looking for the violent, guys that'll throw a punch at the drop of a hat. But what they are looking for is what they call peaceful. Now, peaceful guys are real men, strong men who could do damage if they wanted to. But because they know there are better solutions, because they know that 9 times out of 10, cooler heads prevail over stronger arms, they decide to take the route that is going to be most beneficial to as many parties involved as possible. So peaceful means that you know how. You've got the artillery, you've got the goods, you've got the self-confidence, you've got all those tools, but you know that maybe there's an easier solution for everyone. Harmless is, hey, I don't want any part of it. If it's got conflict, I'm just going to go ahead and back away and let things sort itself out. Now, while that might be the safe solution for that very person, he's also still going to wonder why all the girls that he's friends with always do this to him. This is the guy that couldn't hurt a fly if he tried. No, really, he can't catch him. Even with a swatter, he can't catch him. This is a guy who,
You're trying to look safe. And that's everything. You're over friendly.
And that's not something to try for. No.
You're overly agreeable. And like Johnny said, you're overly harmless. And nephews, look, women are not attracted to danger, but they are attracted to emotional certainty. And there's a big difference here. A man trying to look hard usually looks weak. Right? And
by the way, if you have to tell people you're hard, you're not.
Women can feel when a man is afraid to offend them. Women can tell when a man is afraid to be judged. They can tell when you're afraid to lose their approval. They know. They can smell it. Johnny already told you that.
Like a fart in the car.
The energy leaks throughout the profile. So stop trying to convince women that you're the good guy. A grounded man does not advertise safety.
And here's a question I would ask you. If you have to say you're the good guy, are you? Or are you making sure she hears that, sees that, and you repeat it to her so that maybe if you punch that card enough times, you'll get all that, what do we call it? Fun time? Adult fun that you deserve.
Fun. Shout out to adult fun.
Hey, I love it.
All right, so Johnny, let's go back to our profile here. Yeah. I know we're all over the place. We're giving the nephews the game how to make their
look, guys. We have so much information we want to share with you that sometimes it's overkill, and we're sorry for that.
Yeah, because we're going to stop the show and answer the questions in the chat. You guys that are engaging with us, you're taking priority.
Yeah, you'll just have to give me a second to get my glasses on because I am your uncle.
Bruh.
All right, so moving on here, Johnny. Overall, let me see. Long flights, legs. I think I'm going to pass on this one.
Yeah, I mean, she's cute, but...
Well, okay, I like the phone call prompt. The legs.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I did respect that. I mean, and listen, guys, like I said, if you have the ability, put your phone in a drawer for 2 hours a day. Seriously. Like Billy Gardell said, learn to work on your car. Nobody ever got laid in the back of an iPhone.
Look, nephews, you need to learn how to read subtle flirtation. Okay, let's be adults here for just a minute, because this whole legs thing, she's introducing femininity. She's introducing, let's say, attractiveness and maybe even playful sexual identity. And this matters for tonight's lesson. Because
I got to tell you that hat reminds me of Indiana Jones, and I think that's cool.
Because women who are comfortable with their femininity, they're often lightly open the door for tension without directly escalating it themselves. Now, this doesn't mean that you should act thirsty. It doesn't mean that you should become over-sexual. It doesn't mean that you should lose your composure. Nephews, that's amateur behavior. But you should acknowledge the energy without chasing it. So you don't want to be corny or predictable. I'd love to see why they call you that. That could almost be a little bit of a trap there, Johnny. But
yeah,
if you had more grounded energy, you could say something like, that nickname tells me you probably got away with a lot back then.
Uncle Bill, I just got a DM from Amanda. She said, "Are you ever going to start on your left arm when it comes to the tats?"
Oh man. Listen, Amanda, here's the thing. This show, it's not about me. It's about you. I'd rather you ask a question about how your dating profile could be better, how your life could be better. That's really what we're here for. So, moving on. What else did we have here, Johnny?
Amanda says, "How do I get a date with a guy who only has tattoos on one arm? He's cute."
Bruh.
All right. Listen, if you
Amanda, down girl, behave yourself.
All right, let's move on. Amanda,
yeah,
listen,
come on, man.
Appreciate you. You know,
listen, ladies,
shout out to you for being part of the show. But really, Johnny and I need to keep our focus on the nephews. And I say nephews, but Johnny, I look at my algorithm, I look at my audience,
nieces,
and
apparently.
I have so many men that are 50 and up, 55 and older that are watching our content,
sure,
that are engaging with us. They do not understand modern dating right now. So it's not just these young men that we're helping, Johnny. We're out here helping men of all ages.
Listen, middle-aged dating is tough. I've been very successful. I know Uncle Bill has too. And so, guys, if you are our age, even if you're up to like 10, 15 years older than us, dude, let us know, man. I mean, there are still ways to get out there. And I'm going to tell you what, if I hear the excuse I'm too old, I'm either going to physically or verbally slap you. Okay. Because that is going to have far less to do with what you actually have to offer and what I can actually show you about who you are, and what you should like about yourself. And I mean, that's what I do for a living. I'm very good at it.
Johnny, this travel prompt thing, it's bigger than I like to travel. Let me break this down for the nephews before we move on, because we come across profiles where they talk about traveling often. So this is bigger than I like to travel. Michelle here is telling us that she romanticizes experiences. All right. So I would also say that she
what kinds of experiences are we romanticizing? Are we romanticizing the experiences that make your hair stand up on the back of your neck, or the ones that, get you drunk and somehow you didn't have to spend anything?
Look, I understand what you're thinking, because some women do enjoy destinations, but other women
could be either way. I mean,
they enjoy an emotional atmosphere, and it sounds to me like she prefers the second one here. And look, here's the real gay that the nephews would miss with this one. A woman who enjoys experiences is evaluating how a man feels to experience life with, not just what he owns, what he makes, or what he says. And look, here's where you guys are going to lose her on this profile. You guys you get too serious too fast with a profile like this, or you're performative trying to keep her entertained. Meanwhile, Michelle here is actually asking for grounded masculine energy and emotional confidence, leadership with personality, not another guy trying to audition for husband status.
No. However, I would actually be curious to say, if I was going to message her, I would say, okay, cool. First trip, who's buying the plane tickets? The other one gets a hotel.
Johnny, this
I'm
is
kidding,
exactly
of course,
why boring men, their profiles fail here, because Michelle's profile has a little bit of tone, it has some emotional identity, it has flirtation, it even has a lifestyle energy. But most male profiles, the nephews, their profiles are like, I work hard, I love football, just ask, or gym selfie. And there's no emotional fingerprint, no atmosphere, no sense of what life around you feels like. And women respond emotionally first and logically second. That's the truth, nephews.
Yeah, I mean, show them some physique and they'll hang around you for a day. Show them some substance and you might not be able to get rid of them.
Look, Michelle's profile here, it's not successful because she lists facts. It's successful because she communicated emotional experience. You can see the phone calls, the flirtation, the airport, the wine, the energy, and that's what your profiles are missing. Not perfection, nephews, identity.
I think that leads to another mistake men make on their profiles too, doesn't it, Uncle Bill?
Absolutely, Johnny. But hold on, let's make a decision here. I think I'm going left on this one.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's got some interest to it,
right?
But I would need more. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. What she's not doing is she's not really showing me what she offers. This is more of kind of like what she requires. And
we're not talking about what we want for dinner. We're talking about like, what do you actually add to my life rather than take away?
Right. So for that reason, I'm going to pass on this one. That might be a little more casual than what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
All right, give me 1 second here. I gotta preview this one.
So while Uncle Bill's previewing that, if you guys have been online dating lately and you had an extraordinary experience, be it good or bad, scary or funny, whatever happens to be, leave it in the live chat, shoot it to me in an email. Dude, we would love to read that and share it online. And man, a lot of those stories are hilarious. And please do not deprive us of a funny story.
All right, Johnny. Let me just double check. Wait, I thought I'd seen something in here that I might not be able to.
We're begging you for a funny one.
Oh, we're good here. Okay. Back to, we're also doing 5 mistakes that men make with their own dating profiles. And I think we're on
one I was telling you guys
number
about.
3, Johnny. Mistake number 3 is your pictures have no kind of social proof. It's your pictures, nephew.
Bruh.
What's going on with your pictures? If every picture is a bathroom selfie, a truck selfie, a gym selfie, you're sitting in your car, you need to understand you don't look mysterious to women.
If you are taking a selfie inside a locker room or a bathroom, it should be for your eyes only, and that's to monitor your progress as you move along the Johnny Dumbbell challenge. Otherwise, leave it off the app.
Look, women are trying to figure out, does this man have life in him? Not, can he hold an iPhone? All right. So your photos should quietly answer a few things. I'll give you the game on it. Do people enjoy being around you? How does this man move? Does he experience life? Does he lead environments? That one is key. Does he create memories? And no, this does not mean fake flexing, rented Lamborghinis, or bottle service. That's clown behavior. You need movement. You need environment. You need grounded confidence. You need real world energy. A man standing alone in 6 photos feels emotionally closed off, whether he realizes it or not. And Johnny, I'm going to move on to number 4 here tonight.
Let's do it.
Mistake number 4, nephews, you're selling facts instead of experience. And I'm going to break it down because this one's huge. Because you guys get on here and you start listing. You list things like your height, your job, your hobbies, the city you're at, your favorite food. Meanwhile, women are asking themselves one thing: what would life feel like with this man?
Like, can I actually sit across the table from him, let alone next to him? And that's the first test you're going to have to pass. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the game, Johnny, because a woman is imagining your energy. She's imagining your pace. She can even imagine your leadership or your emotional atmosphere, not your LinkedIn profile.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, you don't have a LinkedIn profile when it comes to dating, guys. Seriously.
Look, nephew.
There are so many reasons why she doesn't need to know that before she knows your middle name.
Facts tell, but experience sells. Instead of I like to travel, show what kind of experience happens around you. Instead of I work hard, show what your discipline produces in your lifestyle. And that's the game here.
Yep.
Hold on a second, Johnny. I got to do something with TikTok.
While he's doing that, by the way, guys, if you see the jersey that I'm wearing, if you can put in the live chat what movie this jersey is from, and then put your email or, shoot it to me one way or the other, I will send you a free copy of the Johnny Dumbbell Challenge, complete with workouts.
All right, Johnny, we're going to do one more profile tonight, but before we do that, we're going to do mistake number 5.
Zerker, you're disqualified from this, by the way.
Nephews, mistake number 5 you're making with your own dating profiles, it's making them boring to women, is you're trying too hard to be liked.
Bruh.
All right,
dude, you're trying to be chosen rather than figuring out how to be the kind of guy that can do the choosing.
Well, Johnny, a lot of their profiles are built around avoiding rejection, not attraction. So
well, you know what? I mean, I noticed, and it's because they're conditioned that way, man. Now, I know we could make an entire episode about conditioning, cultural conditioning. But these guys have been taught that they are the ones who should be on their best behavior in order to be chosen by the ones who don't have to hold themselves to any standards. And so when they do that, they think they got to be the best version, not only of themselves, but the best version of themselves, plus a little bit more that they can hope to be. And again, that's where you start tap dancing. That's where you start, trying to audition. That's where you start trying to be the better guy than all the other guys that you haven't even seen or heard, but you imagine are competing with you. This is where you end up groveling. This is where you end up being in that submissive role, which she might find cute for about 3 or 4 seconds, but will eventually lose respect for you if you are going to continue doing that.
Okay, nephews. I want you to understand,
PSA.
if your profile is communicating to women that you don't want to upset anybody, that's wrong. Nobody's going to remember. Nobody's going to remember that kind of neutral behavior. A profile should filter. It should not beg. The goal is strong alignment here. That means standards.
Peaceful approach.
Personality. It means identity. It means emotional tone.
Yep.
All that is needed to be visible. And the men who struggle the most on these apps are usually not too ugly. They're not too short. They're not too broke. They're
not even too old.
Stand out.
Look, if you stand out, you should expect to get called out. But that's why you should establish who you are to yourself before you establish who you are to anybody else. Because once your life makes sense to you, you can go ahead and stand out when you get called out. And the person that calls you out just going to have to walk away at best.
We don't want you to get lost in the algorithm of generic men. We're here to help you do better. So if women keep swiping past you, it's not because they hate you. It's because your profile leaves no kind of emotional fingerprint behind. And we're here to help with that. Put your comments in the chat. Email your questions to Uncle Johnny to get on Monday's show. Reach out to us on any platform that you're on. We're really here to help you.
Yep.
I got another question in the chat tonight, Johnny. She says, why are so many guys giving the middle finger in their profile pic?
Oh my God. Tell me about it. Well, here's the thing. I've seen so many girls doing it too. But in my experience on online dating, I've seen that it's mostly girls like 25 and under. And I got to be honest with you, I probably don't have much in common with anybody in that age group anyway, unless she's really got her shit together and really has a level of maturity beyond her own years. So, I mean, I can let that slide, but guys who are their age, guys who are part of their generation, my God, I feel bad for you, because that middle finger might be something that she thinks is cute, and it really doesn't go any deeper than that for her mentally. But understand that this is the idea that middle finger being up means she gives a F about nothing. And the thing of it is that means that she already is on top of the world, thought that was a picture to share, and that anybody who thinks she's cute should have to compete with the other guys who, this is where she's going to actually ask you to kind of try to show her that you've got better game than whoever else might be in her DMs, which, by the way, you're not going to know anything about, which means that you think you're going to have to go above and beyond. And because you see her as hot, you realize that above and beyond for her is going to be so above and beyond. But here's the thing. I'm talking along the lines of effort. I'm talking along the lines of you competing. And I'm talking along the lines of you trying to outshine the other shiners in her, inbox. And if you are along that thought pattern, knock it off. Knock it the actual fuck off. You are in charge of your life. And if you are not in charge of your life and you're trying to mold yourself to somebody else's standards, that's where you started going off on somebody else's path, not your own. And if you are willing to follow somebody else's path just to get with them or spend a night or a month or a year or whatever the hell it happens to be with them, that means that you have given up who you have worked your ass off to be, just to be with somebody who you haven't met, you haven't talked to, but hey, she's hot, right? I just don't think it's worth it.
Amelia, I'll break this down for you. You want to know why so many guys are giving the middle finger in that first profile pic? It's because they confuse rebellion, edge, not caring with confidence. They don't understand that those are not the same thing. Now, nephews, this is a great lesson for you guys tonight. When a guy throws the middle finger up in dating profile pictures, most of the time he thinks he's signaling that he's unapologetic, that he doesn't care what people think, that he's real. But what a lot of women actually read is emotional immaturity, attention seeking, that you're angry, that you're have low social awareness, and that you're trying too hard to look hard. And that's the disconnect. Now let's go deeper a little bit on
like
this.
I said, if you got to say it, you ain't it.
A dating profile, nephews, is marketing. You're communicating lifestyle, energy, emotional control, and social intelligence without even speaking. And the middle finger picture usually communicates confrontation, hostility, or what we like to call here performative masculinity.
Bruh.
Not grounded.
Which, by the way, is nowhere near real. Yeah.
A truly confident man doesn't need to broadcast defiance. He doesn't need to signal aggression. And he certainly doesn't need to rebel for attention. Why?
Well,
because his identity already feels solid. Weak men perform masculinity. Grounded men radiate it quietly. And that's the big difference here. And look, here's the crazy part. A lot of guys, they're not even angry men in real life. They're just mimicking internet culture, copying other men, what they see, trying to avoid looking too nice. So they all swing way into this fake toughness, this fake indifference, this fake edge, and it makes the profiles emotionally exhausted immediately. I'll clap that.
Absolutely.
Now let's connect this to attraction, shall we?
Let's do it.
Women are not usually looking for the safest man alive, but they are looking for emotional control. A man flipping off the camera in multiple photos often feels reactive, impulsive, approval seeking, and really emotionally noisy. Not calm, not centered, and not leader energy. And nephews, you know what part actually looks powerful in a profile? A man who looks comfortable in his own skin, has presence without trying, who doesn't try to force image, who doesn't scream for reaction. That's rare nowadays. If your masculinity only comes around when you posture, flex, rebel, throw the middle finger, or even look angry, then it probably isn't even embodied yet. Because real masculine energy doesn't need theatrics. It changes the room quietly.
Well, that's right, Uncle. You know something? It's like I tell you guys all the time. If you really are that guy, you don't need to tell people that you are that guy.
All right, nephews, write in with your questions. We're going to be on for a few more minutes. Johnny, do you got time to do one more? Or you want to? I know we kind of took a little while.
Well, listen, I've got a couple of girls knocking on my door right now, but I figure they'll probably hang out for another 20 minutes. So, let's get one more.
All right, shout out to Johnny.
All right, fine. I only have one girl banging on my door. But I mean, it is Thursday. If it was a weekend, it'd be different.
Johnny, we got to add a third night, John. We're reaching so many people. We're doing so well. Hey, shout out to us.
And by the way, while Uncle Bill does this next profile, I just want to let you guys know I had 11 hours worth of work at the gym today, and my schedule is getting pretty full. But if you are looking for any kind of online virtual training or in-person virtual training, if you happen to be in the Pittsburgh area, let me know. It's nochaserjc@gmail.com. Or you could leave it in the live chat or the comments. Well, once this video posts online, I have like 3 more slots to go. I could either do in person or virtual, but I mean, you're going to have to get a hold of me soon because I would say in the next couple of weeks, those slots are going to be taken up. So let me know. Let's do it.
Johnny, if you actually have some, here's the deal. Nephews. Let's just wrap this up tonight, Johnny. We'll go through some more Bumble profiles.
Well,
I could be
all right.
You got 10 minutes?
I got at least 15.
Okay. If you got 15 minutes, we'll go with one
Let's do
more.
it.
All right. This is definitely gonna be our last profile for the night, nephews. We got Stephanie, 46. We got a bio here. Shout out to her. She says,
awesome.
Hi. So I live near Akron, have a good job. I have one daughter who is away at college. I don't like coffee, and spaghetti is my favorite food, and pink is my favorite color.
I mean, she lost me at coffee, but she regained me at spaghetti.
I'm not looking for a hookup and don't want to be with a couple. So if that's what you're into, I'm not interested.
And
no right 3-ways, young kings.
It's all you need to know about bitching.
I like to think we're doing God's work, but we still might end up going to hell.
Bruh.
Bless that bitch.
All right, Johnny. Do you want to take this one? It says she drinks frequently.
All right. I mean, we're talking like wine coolers, or are we talking like 151?
Yeah, I don't know.
Listen, gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and give you some free advice. If this girl takes a shot of 151 and doesn't even grimace, I don't think you're equipped for her. If she drinks something like water, yeah, I would leave.
All right, Johnny. Let's see what else we got here. Why does this profile come across slightly autistic to me?
Bruh.
I'm leaving that
alone. Your favorite color is pink?
I don't know nothing about
My
that.
favorite food is spaghetti?
Bruh.
Well, I'm kind of with her on that one. But I mean, let's add some meatballs or sausage. And, of course, Romano and Parmesan cheese. And, I mean, bread.
Nephews, Stephanie's profile here is actually a great example of something we talked about tonight. Emotional identity.
Yeah.
Because whether you personally like this profile or not, at least you have some idea who this woman is.
I mean, that's pretty specific.
And that already puts her ahead a lot of the profiles we see, Johnny.
I mean, I don't know if you match with her, but if she's kind of close, I would say go right. But let's see what we got.
I don't know, Johnny.
I don't know either. Let's see what we do.
Got a good job. Daughter at college. She doesn't like coffee. Loves spaghetti. Favorite color is pink. No hookups, no couples. So let's clean this up, shall we?
All right, let's see what we got.
This profile so far has humanity in it. Okay, most profiles feel generic or curated. Stephanie's doesn't. You can actually picture the woman or the kitchen, the lifestyle energy, and that's important. And I got to tell you from my own experience, Johnny, with women, small details matter. So a lot of men would read spaghetti, pink, no coffee, and think, who cares?
Yep. Yeah, I mean.
Well, listen, women care because specificity creates identity. And this is exactly where most of the nephews' profiles fail. They think they need to sound impressive. Wrong. You need to sound real, grounded, and emotionally textured.
Well, but you know what? I think that's an example of projection that, we see a lot in society, because women put their careers and accomplishments on their online profiles because they care about ours. And so I think they assume that we care about theirs. Now, for me personally, I'm not saying that I don't care about your accomplishments. I don't care about your accolades. I don't care about what you've accomplished in your life. I do care about that. What I am telling you is that it's not a deal maker, nor is it a deal breaker as to whether or not I would date you. I look more towards how you're going to treat me, whether or not you have respect for me, whether or not I feel respected when I'm around you. I care more about that than I care about where you graduated from, what your grades were, how much you make. I don't care about any of that nearly as much as I care about how you treat me.
I'm glad you mentioned the job thing, because the job line, it's kind of subtle. She's quietly signaling stability, independence in adulthood, not please rescue me. And nephews, this matters. A woman at this age mentioning career, daughter structure is telling you my life already functions. So if a man enters it, he better add peace and not chaos.
No, I agree.
Now,
That's what we want.
We're gonna talk about this no hookups, no couples line, because this is another thing nephews need to understand correctly, Johnny. Now, she's not being mean. She's not attacking men. She's not being difficult. She is filtering aggressively. And why? Because women around this age usually know what they don't want.
And they will be proud to list it.
And they know what they don't want faster than they know what they do want.
Bruh.
Well, listen, all it took for me was to get divorced. So I get it.
Johnny, a lot of men can learn from that, but
yeah,
it's another episode. All right. But I want you guys to notice something important here. Her profile, it's not sexy. It's not edgy. It's not mysterious. It's certainly not high status, but so far it is communicating identity, stability, emotional tone, boundaries, and even a certain lifestyle. And that's why this profile works better than a lot of the nephews' profiles. And it's because you can feel the person behind it. Now, nephews,
I mean, it really is relatable. Yeah.
You don't need your profile to feel famous or rich or ultra alpha.
Yeah.
You need it to feel emotionally real. You need it to feel grounded. You need it to feel intentional. Now, look, Stephanie's profile here, it might not be attractive to every man. Good. That's the point. Profiles are supposed to filter, not desperately appeal to everybody.
Yeah, they're not supposed to be some shotgun blast to say, hey, anybody that might bang me, respond. And I think a lot of guys take it that way. Yeah.
All right. And here's where a lot of you guys mess this up, because men,
I don't like it either. But
to build profiles around appearing impressive instead of communicating identity. So they end up sounding like LinkedIn with gym selfies, and women feel nothing. So Stephanie's profile would work for some of you because there is some boundaries, there is some emotional texture here, there is some feminine identity, and you may not personally align with her, but at least she feels like a real person here.
Right.
Let's keep going. It says her personal hell is traffic.
Well, listen, in Pittsburgh, I can absolutely understand that.
All right. The prompt says
and I ride a bike.
Traffic. And then we have another prompt here. It says the chapter I'm most proud of in my life is being able to send my daughter to college. And then we got one more prompt here, Johnny. It says, I'm a real nerd about true crime and paranormal. Don't worry, I'm not weird.
God, she got me. Listen, I'm going to admit she got me on the true crime and paranoia. Or paranormal. Well, paranoia about the paranormal. No, she got me there, though.
All right. Well, let me look at this over. It's not giving me a lot to work with here, Johnny. There's like, and I know she did fill out the bio, and shout out to her for filling out a bio. We appreciate it.
By the way, if anybody in our live audience has ever gotten engaged or married based on online dating, and you met your current fiance or spouse on online dating, tell us about it in the chat.
Exactly. All right. So true crime, paranormal. She claims she's not weird. She's in the Batgirl outfit there. You know, I like women who cosplay stuff like that.
You know, I do too, but I mean, I got to tell you, I really think Catwoman was a little hotter than Batgirl,
All right.
both
Well,
in the 60s and the 90s. Just saying.
All right. Look, Johnny, we're not just seeing random facts here. We're seeing emotional identity and what the stuff that we've been talking about all night.
Well, and the blinds behind her.
Sorry, what's that?
The blinds behind her seem to be in pretty good shape, which means she does tend to mind her own damn business if that is her place.
Bruh.
All right,
Just saying.
start. All right, simple hell is traffic, or personal hell is traffic. It makes her feel human, not curated.
Yeah.
And this
I don't know
just
anybody
matters
that can't
more than you
identify
think.
with that.
Nephews, your profiles feel like job applications, resumes, and technical or tactical positioning even.
Yep.
Women's profiles at least feel lived in. Being able to send my daughter to college just tells me that the woman is sacrificed. She's responsible. She knows long-term investment. She has a certain nurturing energy, Johnny, and she's probably really stable. And whether you personally want to date her or not, you can feel a little emotional depth here. This is not, look how cool I am. This is what mattered to me in life. What else we got? Well, let me see, Johnny. The paranormal. You said you like this one, the true crime, the paranormal?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about the rest of it, but I really do like that.
Well, I like that she's not saying I watch TV. Like she's communicating imagination, a little bit of curiosity here, conversational energy, and even like some of her interest, I guess. Not, and then the don't worry, I'm not weird. And I can't, that's the one I keep thinking about. I've said it like four or five times now. I would say this kind of shows self-awareness or humor, or even maybe social calibration.
I mean, I can see her being the kind of girl that I would consider quirky. And while quirky is kind of cute, does mean that she probably has a little more specific type she's looking for than, and I don't mean to be rude here, but she's looking for something a little more specific than her assets might allow.
Okay. Well, regardless
and I mean that
of whether you
respectfully.
like this profile or not, she's showing her identity, and you know that's what we're trying to communicate to the nephews tonight, that their identity is what is
Absolutely.
attractive to women,
Without question. Yep.
So
Well, not only their identity, Uncle Bill, but definitely their level of comfort with that identibility. Because here's the thing. If you're not comfortable with who you are, and listen, I will say this until I turn as blue as my sleeve here. If you are not comfortable with the way you are, you cannot expect anyone to be attracted to, let alone comfortable with on a long-term basis, that what you present.
all right. And you know what I notice about the profile, Johnny, is what it doesn't do. It doesn't try to sound perfect. It doesn't try to sound famous. This profile,
she's not a pick me,
Johnny. Yeah, it doesn't scream for validation. You're right. It doesn't perform. So it does communicate her identity.
Well, more than that, I think it absolutely projects her, desires, and it really seems like, and I know I'm kind of putting the cart before the horse here, but it really seems like a girl who's probably been through a little bit more than she feels she should have been. And now she's looking to, find somebody, either here or nowhere.
Look, most men, you guys are terrified to reveal your little quirks or emotional depth in your profiles, your personality, or even specifics because you tend to think that you need maximum approval. And I'm telling you that you're wrong. That creates blandness, and blandness is what gets you ignored. Now, her profile probably will attract some men and filter out others. And that's honestly what a good profile is supposed to do.
I mean, as far as what she entered in, it's definitely solid. And looks wise, I mean, look, she's not a bad looking girl.
Nephews, your profile should not feel like an advertisement. It should look like a doorway into your world. So, and a lot of your profiles fail because there's no world there. There's no atmosphere. There's no emotional fingerprint. It's just, I like tacos in the gym. So does half the app.
And beers.
All right, Johnny. I think Stephanie here, that's going to be a no for me, dog. Isn't that how you like to say that?
Stephanie, thank you so much, but
all right, nephews, tonight was deeper than dating apps. It was about identity. Because whether we're breaking it down, whether we're breaking down boring profiles, whether we're talking to you about fake confidence, whether we explain middle finger pictures, or men trying too hard to look safe, the real issue underneath all of it was really the same thing. Too many men have no idea how they actually come across. And because of that, you're building profiles around fear of rejection.
Man. And how strong is that?
Instead of clarity of identity. Some of you're trying so hard to avoid being disliked. You're trying to avoid offending. You're even trying to avoid standing out. And that makes you disappear completely.
And I can tell you, I have been there.
Others swing too far other direction. All right. They fake that tough guy energy. They fake alpha energy. They fake indifference. And nephews, women can feel that too, because forced energy always leaks. The truth is,
you can smell that on your breath.
The truth is, most male profiles don't fail because the man is ugly. They fail because the profile has no emotional gravity, no atmosphere, no direction, no emotional fingerprint, nothing that makes the woman feel curiosity or tension or intrigue. It just feels generic. And nephews, women are not swiping on your resume. They're trying to feel what life around you would be like. And that's the game, nephews. Not listing facts, not providing your worth, not trying to look impressive, but communicating identity, energy, grounded confidence, emotional experience. And that's why we talk tonight about things like emotional identity, social proof, tension, honesty, and even congruence, because attraction grows best when who you are, what you say, what you show, and how you move all align. And let me leave you with this tonight, nephews. Stop building profiles that beg, please like me. Build profiles that say, this is who I am. If we align, hey, let's talk. All right, that subtle shift changes everything, because grounded men don't perform for approval. They present themselves clearly, and they let alignment do the filtering. So look, take this tonight seriously, nephews. Some of you don't need better pickup lines. You don't need more tricks, and you certainly don't need fake confidence. You need a stronger identity. You need clear presentation, and you need the courage to stop blending in. Write in next week, nephews. Call in. Drop your questions in the chat. Send Uncle Johnny smoke signals if you need to. He even said you can use Morse code. We're here to help. Lock in and start to swipe smarter. Johnny, You got anything before we wrap this up tonight?
I so do. Young men, when you do the choosing, that gives you the power. When you are trying to be chosen, that gives you the ability to follow. And that's not where you want to be in a relationship. So we're going to talk a little bit on Monday night because I've already got a couple of questions in. I got room for maybe one more if you guys have time. But between now and then, we got a whole weekend. And we're not going to be there to help you or bail you out. And I don't think Uncle Bill or I even have the money to bail you out. So no drugs or alcohol, please. But if you do drink, don't drive. If you drive, and if you drive, don't park because accidents cause people. Well, no.
Thanks for watching, nephews. God bless the real.